we are here to have a celebration of the International Day of Peace. Today, Wednesday, September 21st, 2022, right here in New Hallville, District 94, Ward 20. I'm Devin Avshalom Smith, and I'm legislative aide to State Representative Robin Porter of the 94th District, as well as the alder of this Ward 20. Very proud to be the alder, very proud to be here with you all today. We want to thank Christian Community Action sincerely and the City of New Haven Peace Commission for coordinating this. We truly appreciate the work of everyone involved in bringing us all here together today. So the theme for this year's International Day of Peace in 2022 is End Racism, Build Peace. As UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said, racism continues to poison institutions, social structures, and everyday life in society. It continues to deny people their fundamental human rights. It destabilizes societies, undermines democracy, erodes the legitimacy of governments, and the linkages between racism and gender inequality are unmistakable. That's a lot to unpack. But in the interest of time, I'll make a very immediate connection. Earlier this afternoon, a person was shot a few streets away. In the city of New Haven, the Board of Alders have declared racism as a public health crisis. The 660 Winchester development is a positive asset to this community. However, with that, I am very proud to welcome the mayor of the city of New Haven, Mayor Justin Elliott.
Thank you, Alder Avshalom Smith. Very grateful to be here. How many times have we been here, Miss Reverend Grubbs?
A lot.
It's just so many times. Usually we're in the back. And I understand there's some work going on in the playground there too, which is exciting. I talked with Mr. Cannon, who's the head of the fire union, last week to make sure that Public Works can help support there. Just so inspiring the work that is going on in this building. 18 families, 18 big families just moved in, right?
14 now, soon to be 18.
14 now, soon to be 18. That's a long time and a lot of work by your staff and your team to make that happen. But it's going to be well worth it in the end, and you see that, I'm sure, by the success of the families, but most importantly, the love that you put into people. And also I don't think she's going to speak, but I see Alder Festa and Alder Kim Edwards here as well. Wanted to acknowledge them. We got our New Haven police officers representing the past. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And I saw Dr. Galal here from the Community Services Administration. Really grateful that you're here as well. You know, we talk about peace, I think, oftentimes from a national and global perspective, which is a war, very sadly, of choice by President Putin, but not of choice by hundreds of thousands of people that war has impacted and tens of thousands of lives lost. We don't as often talk about peace in the way that Alder Avshalom Smith did, about referencing the shooting that happened earlier in the day just down the street from here. The 8 homicides, the residents that we have lost in this year alone to gun violence. We don't often talk about peace in the context of the violence that people experience, whether it's domestic violence or other types of violence in our communities. But peace, I think, to all of us, and we have seen by many of the veteran peace leaders, if I may call you that, is about people wanting to live in peace, wanting to have the ability to thrive. And you cannot thrive, you cannot hold a steady job, you cannot take care of your children, you cannot take care of yourself if you don't have that sense of peace. I know that in New Haven, we are constantly advocating and supporting everyone, no matter their background, no matter where they come from, their economic status. And we have as the highest priority the goal that everyone should have that peace in their life, that safety, that access to resources, And I think that what Reverend Grubbs does here with her team is so emblematic of those values. So we're proud that you are a part of our city. We're proud of so many partners and the leaders that have been calling for peace year after year after year. And we commit to continuing to work. And the symbol here today of a tree to bring us peace, both physically, but also to think about how that tree can grow into something great in the future is something that I think that we all can be celebrating today. So thank you very much, and I'll hand it back over to Absalom Smith.
Incomparable as a new one. So today we gathered to celebrate the planting of one of the most attractive native trees around. By name, it is a black tupelo. By nature, it's one of the most attractive trees around. By message, it's a symbol of peace in this community on the premises of C.C.A.'s New Hope, higher opportunities, purpose, and expectations of the children, and in the New Hall section of New Haven. Therefore, first, I want to thank the Peace Commission for approaching C.C.A. staff to plant this tree, and the Urban Resources Initiative for making this day possible. Good energy, good planning, and yes, good results. We now have a symbol of peace at this location and in this neighborhood, and certainly in the lives, our lives, and messages that we can share and see.
What a wonderful collaboration between the City of New Haven Peace Commission and Christian Community Action New Hope. Deep appreciation to Reverend Benita Grubbs, Charmaine Young, Shalina Torre, and the whole staff. Thank you for your emphasis and decades of consistent work for family peace. Each year, the Peace Commission collaborates in different neighborhoods with Urban Resources Initiative to plant a peace tree on the United Nations International Day of Peace. And it's so significant to be here today in the resilient New Hallville neighborhood that is overcoming all odds. And as Alder Absalom Smith said, the UN theme for this year is End Racism, Build Peace. The International Day of Peace is a call to action, to change priorities so there can be a future with equity and peace. A future where funding goes to housing and living wage jobs and healthy communities, especially communities of color, instead of to profitable armaments corporations for never-ending wars. A future where Black youth and all young people have opportunities and hope for the future instead of fear for their lives. So the Black Tupelo tree that's been planted here and will be unveiled today on International Day of Peace 2022 joins other trees planted on this day in past years in Dixwell, The Hill, Fairhaven, Worcester Square, West River, East Rock, and Westville. It will serve as a constant call to action, to join together, to envision and realize a future with justice, equity, and peace. So we thank you, C.C.A., for caring for this tree and all that it symbolizes. And to those assembled here today, please consider participation in the City of New Haven Peace Commission to make it an even more vibrant and effective part of our city government, which has been named a United Nations Peace Messenger City. And Millie is at the table there, and she has brochures and information about how to get involved with the Peace Commission. So without further ado, I want to appreciate again Alder Absalom Smith and unveil the plaque. I don't know if we said how it would be unveiled, Alder.
Connecticut General Assembly State Representative Robin Corbett. Wow. Well, I don't want to be the person
standing between folks and they ice cream. And I think it's all really been said, but the thing that really resonates with me as a lawmaker, the one thing that I will add to everything that's been said today around peace and what it stands for and how we get there is that we have to stop fighting one another and start fighting our real enemy, which is racism. And all its little byproducts, right? All its little children that run around, like poverty and crime and the things that happen here today in this neighborhood that are unfortunately happening way too often, right? There's a tremendous uptick. So what I will say and my commitment will be that when we go back in January 2023, I will continue to do that work because racism, poverty, and all the rest of the isms are a policy choice. And it is really up to the policymakers in this state to decide that we are going to get it right. We're not just going to get it done, but we're going to get it done right.